45, we're back. We got Dr. Drew. What's up, Dr.
Hey, man,
Drew?
good to see you.
God,
It really is.
Damn, it's good to have you on here, man. I was telling you on Periscope that, like, I listened to you and Adam back in the day.
Yeah.
Fucking
made me feel old.
Shit, I'm old too right there. I was a grown-up listening
Where were
to
you? Where were you listening?
Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, midnight shift, man. I listen to you on midnights.
I remember that. We had a huge reach at back then. We didn't even know it. We didn't even appreciate it. But we liked talking to people from all over the country. It was very cool.
It was dope because, like, look, man, I came up on Sexually Speaking. This is Dr. Ruth. And, like...
She raised you or I did like Dr. Ruth?
Well, no, I came up on Dr. Ruth. And then when I got older, like, your show came about, and
Right.
it was the Dr. Ruth for our generation.
And now they don't need it because you got the internet. They just go ask. There was nowhere else to go except us back in the day.
Are you finding a slowdown of calls because of the internet?
No, it's just changed. It's changed. So people still are they may not be as confused about the basics of plumbing and STDs and things.
Right.
They're more confused perhaps than ever about relationships.
Yo, I'm still arguing with motherfuckers about herpes and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a confusing thing.
That part, again, the STDs and stuff, people want to hear from a source they trust that it is, in fact, fill in the blank.
What's the hardest shit to get? As a rich guy, I got money and I'm circumcised. So I imagine
Where are we going with this?
It's got to be hard for me to get a disease, right?
If you use a condom, you're doing pretty good.
Can I go raw? Like, I fuck rich broads. Can't I just go raw on these rich chicks and just be fine?
You're gonna get HPV for sure, right?
That's the warts.
That's the wart thing.
That does nothing to me.
For the most part.
That just
do you ever
gives
get the
girls
vaccine
cancer.
against that? Yeah, well, it gives guys head and neck cancer too.
Oh, from what? Eating the pussy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So that's why you got to get the vaccines.
My
Everybody,
voice.
get the vaccines. Get the vaccine. It's hard. You're a little old for the vaccine, but maybe an enlightened physician would give you that vaccine.
Is it too late for me to get the vaccine?
You're older than you should be for it, but somebody might give it to you. If I were you, I would take it if I could.
Really?
If I were out there, yeah.
What if I already have it? I don't know if I do. Is it too late, though? Like,
If you have it, it's too late, but you probably don't.
Dude, you know how many chicks I banged? 7.
You're fine.
Okay.
I guarantee you're fine.
Last week. No.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, hepatitis C is hard to get, that kind of thing. So
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
what's that?
Just use a condom, for Christ's sake. What the hell?
Dude, you're married.
Yeah.
When's the last time you wore a condom?
No.
It's like fucking in a body bag, bro.
Some of them are pretty good these days, right?
I'm right.
I mean, better. Well, all right.
I'm using the fucking skin right now, and some of them are good.
The
Other
natural
ones-
skin ones,
yeah,
so-called, yeah.
good. It's fine.
Yeah. Good for you.
Hey, look, I hate child support, so
There you go.
pussy feels good. Not paying child support feels better. I just got done. I just got done a year ago. So
With what?
paying child support. Doctor.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oof.
Teen dad.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
How's your kid?
She's fine. Or how
How
old?
old? Yeah.
She's 19 and she's good.
Wow.
I made her in a McDonald's.
That's
Doctor.
The
In the closet.
Mom. The mom.
Yes. The
And never
mother
saw her again.
No, we worked together.
Okay. So you ended up having a relationship with mom over time.
No, we did not have a relationship.
But I mean, not necessarily a romantic relationship.
Right,
but you
right.
knew each other over time.
That
yeah?
is correct, sir.
Okay.
That's correct.
Was it deception? We wanted to do a show about this where guys are sort of they find out their dads after the fact.
Here's the deal. She hit me 6 months after she was pregnant. I think she was just afraid. You know, she was a teenager. She came from a strict family. She was afraid. I had another chick pregnant.
What?
Yeah, but I got some swimmers, boy. It's like I'm Mexican.
It is like you're Mexican.
I'm Catholic, so I think I think it's that Catholic shit. The Irish, the Italians, we just know how to knock people up.
Maybe that's why there was so much pressure not to be sexual. They knew there'd be a baby. They knew there'd be trouble.
That could have been it. Could have been. I just feel like I can open up to you, Doc.
That's so much. That's a lot to do. How old were you by the time you were dealing with all that?
18.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Did you have family or anything to support you through all that?
Nah.
Whoa.
I was actually just writing about it. My family, my grandmother didn't even want to help. They saw me struggling and just let me struggle because they didn't want me to raise the kid. They didn't think I was going to be a good dad. They were kind of right, you know. I was 18. I didn't know shit.
No, of course I couldn't have raised a raccoon or a guinea pig. But your child is good though now, right?
She's got a fucking academic scholarship.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you look at the outcome on some of the children of teen parents, a lot of them end up better than you would ever predict.
Especially if they're raised by the grandparents.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. We did not have our shit together. So you get raised by the grandparents. Now you have somebody that's stable.
But imagine if she does that to you. How's that going to feel? She gets pregnant, gives you a kid.
I told that little motherfucker, my daughter, I said, look, little motherfucker, I love you, but if you give me if I'm a 30-something-year-old grandparent, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Don't white trash me. You know, I've clawed my way
What'd she say?
out of white trash. Don't fucking throw me back in there.
What'd she say?
She was like, oh, Dad, it's cool. She likes Fallout Boy. I don't see her. I don't know. Maybe she's having sex. I don't know.
It's just rebellion for you. And what's she going to study?
Right now she's, I don't know, just fucking college shit, like
Where?
philosophy and
Good.
goddamn
Good for her.
communication.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, be a plumber.
Is she out here?
Nah, man. I can't say where she is.
No, I don't want to out
fucking
it.
weirdos
No.
showing up at her college.
Yeah. I don't want to out that. Yeah, my kids just got out of college.
So you already know. You know what it is.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive. That's what it is.
That's why you need them to get that goddamn academic scholarship.
I know. See? It's good.
Yeah. Gotta have a baby with a black chick. It's easier to get a scholarship, bro. Fucking up, man. That's what you fucking up, Doc. Getting them white ladies pregnant. That's why it's expensive, man.
It's expensive.
This shit is real. What's that?
The music coming in here, all the use of the N-word was discussed on my television show yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah, we did.
What was their take?
I have a nightly show on HLN. It's 9 o'clock in the East, 6 o'clock in the West, and it's we have an audience in there. And the take was that the word I was really interesting because the word it's a vehicle for hatred and trauma that needs to be people need to be kind of aware of it. They shouldn't toss it out because it always carries some. I know people are trying to own it and disempower and use it in terms of endearment. So I get what the attempt is, but I was really surprised at the degree to which I could see that this word was a vehicle for the past.
You think
I
so?
hadn't really thought about it. Yeah.
I mean, I get that, but then
it's not for me to say, right? It's not.
Well, I don't know what it's for. It seems like that's the media is ran by white people, and they're the ones that are dictating what's to be said and what's not going to be said.
No, my boss is a black guy, and
he's a minority. Let's be real. Well, I don't like what are most of your bosses?
I got the big bosses are
throughout
white.
the years.
Throughout the years, white guys.
Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
And they throw people a bone. We're not going to say this word. You can't have any rights, but we won't say this word.
No, I understand, but I was just interested in because I'm no business. I'm not. It doesn't. I'm an outsider, but I'd like to understand what's going on.
Well, in hip hop, dude, like the word is used.
No,
like,
I get that. I get it. And listen, when I was growing up, I am a fucking huge Richard Pryor fan.
Right.
And I think his language holds up as poetry. And that word was part of his poetry. I'm telling you. He used it like punctuation. He used it as a way to paint a picture. And it was deeply powerful to me when I was a kid. It taught me some stuff. But I didn't understand the hatred and stuff that came along with it. I didn't get it. And now I'm starting to get it, I think.
Look, man, different words mean different things to different people. And the further along we go, words have the propensity to change.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, hey, this is, if I'm a fucking, I think a lot of people can look at this as a victory. Look, you were able to take a word that was once used to keep someone down.
Yeah.
Now you've turned that word into a pop phrase. You've sold it back to the grandkids of the very people that were talking shit about you, and you're making money off of it. Like you won. You fucking won with that word. Walk away. Drop the mic. You won.
Right. I agree with that, but it still carries a lot of stuff.
Cats want to have it both ways, though. You can't have it
right.
both ways. You can't sell people the word and then be like, this word hurts my feelings.
Did you see that Japanese tourist, that video? Look up Japanese tourist and N-word. It's crazy.
The fact that you keep saying N-word gives it power.
Listen, I'm not the one to say anything different. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody instructs me otherwise, that's what it's going to be for me.
Look, I get it. You got a lot to lose.
No, it's I'm not a lot to lose. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of any of this. But I want to be. I'm going to do what's right for people I love. Frankly, I've got a lot of black friends. I got a ton of black friends, and
Do you think they won't like you if you say?
No,
nigga?
I'm going to do what they ask of me. You know, they asked me this word has. They
they've
told me
they've
last night. They sat me down. I said, "Do not do that. Do not do it. It's you don't even understand how powerful it is to me. If one of them says that, that's enough for me."
See, for me, I'm like, fuck off. You know I'm not racist. If cats don't want to hear the word, don't fucking say the word. You can't have it both ways. It's spoiled. It's actually racist. It's racist that you can't say a word because of your color. That's racist.
I agree with you.
You're subscribing to racism.
Well, get some feedback from your listeners.
I don't give a fuck what they have to say because it's an emotionally charged, and cats aren't thinking. Cats aren't being logical.
Well, because it's emotionally charged, you're absolutely right. It is But my thing, what I learned, this is the piece that came clear to me yesterday.
Break it down.
Was the way history is transmitted with the word. It's history coming through to us. How everybody feels about it. It's the trauma coming through with the word, no matter how you use it. It transmits it. It's a vehicle. It's a little packet of that fucked up history.
I disagree with you.
Well, that's what I learned. That's what I was taught.
What? Some 50-year-old guy told you that shit?
A bunch of. Well, was not a lot of young.
Look, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it means that to some fucking 40-year-old guy that had to go through it. But you're looking at a 15-year-old person that hasn't dealt with something that somebody born in the 50s.
You're
did,
right. I'd
or
love
the
to hear
40s.
from them. You're right.
It just means different things to different people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faggot was a thing of a bushel of twigs.
I know, but now it hurts.
You know, and it hurts people because they told you it hurts people.
If somebody tells me they're hurt by it, I believe them.
You know what? I tell them to boss up.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying you're saying. Listen, we live in a world right now where we've got a presidential candidate who's rising in the polls because of that feeling that we all
boss up feeling.
Yeah, that feeling that we all need to just be less police and less pussies and more just honest.
Look, we're all over here. We're all over here protecting each other's feelings while fucking jobs are leaving the country.
Listen,
I think we got bigger fish to fucking fry.
Thus, we have Donald Trump. That's where it came from. The guy's just just says whatever the fuck, and that's it. But I feel what you're saying. I totally get it. I totally get it.
It's good to know that a guy that wasn't using nigga every day continues to not use it in his lexicon.
Meaning me.
Yes.
Yeah, I will not be using it.
There you go.
For the record.
There you go.
Not for me to say.
He had to sit down with his old black friends. They told him not to say it, and he's still not saying it.
That's right.
Look, I don't use it in my speech either, because the word is charged.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not going to shy away from it in a quote.
Sure.
I'm not gonna fucking if the song is it in the fucking song. I'm not gonna not say it.
We had that conversation too. That was part of the conversation. I was talking to Don Lemon, in fact, the CNN reporter, and that was his thing. It's like, hey, I'm a journalist, man. I've got to. The word was said. What am I gonna do? Pretend that's not a word? But we also agreed that it to pretend it doesn't have power is a mistake too.
This whole owning the word, it is empty power. You telling me I can't say a word? It's a shibboleth.
Yeah.
It's a false victory, dude.
Yeah.
You want to fight over that little false? Go get mad about your fucking school system. But that's harder to fix than telling a white guy he can't say a fucking word that you've been saying. And here's the other thing, go out in the schoolyard. Everybody's saying it now. Because rap is no longer an underground thing. It's pop culture now, Dr. Drew. It just is.
Is that good?
It is what it is. I'm not here to judge it. It is what it is.
Yeah, but again, the other folks co-opt it, right? A little bit.
Everybody, look, man,
it's a complicated topic, right? We didn't expect to talk about this.
I don't think it's that complicated. It's pretty straightforward, but people are emotional.
Yeah, that makes it complicated.
No, that makes them being it's like trying to reason with a woman on their period. Fucking walk away. Look at 1 + 1 = 2. I don't care how you look at it. It's math. It's not that deep.
See, I live in the world of the messiness of emotions, and I appreciate the clarity with which you want to be logical. I appreciate that. People aren't like that.
Look,
messier.
And that being said, I still don't use it in my everyday life because one, people think I want to be black as it is, and two, it is a charged word. That being said, I'm not gonna not quote it, dude. I'm not gonna, And I still think it's a spoiled way of acting, and I think it's racist to dictate whether a person can say something based on their race.
Yeah.
And racism is a human thing. It's not just we don't have white people don't have that shit fucking cornered, dude.
Racism. Yeah, that's true. Listen, I don't know if you've ever talked to Asian friends. There's racism within there, or even within Hispanics. They have different
Nobody likes anybody, Dr. Drew.
Right.
Nobody likes anybody.
That's sad, right?
We're in a world of savages. I'm okay with that. Look, why are you trying to check? Look, bro, like this
I don't like that.
everything,
like it.
Everything that everywhere we came to has been like stepping on someone's throat. Like your phone is the phone that you're like talking on. Like countries have been invaded to get the fucking minerals that they need to make the batteries in your fucking phone.
I don't disagree with you that we're primitive and we're savages. I don't have to like it.
But you need to own it because you're benefiting from it.
I have to own it.
It's ours. The shrimp you eat, slaves got him. Fucking on chains, dude. And they weren't black, they were another race. Like that's what happens. This is where we live. We live in America where we hide our fucking we hide our savagery from ourselves. We can't even face the fact that we're eating a cow when we're eating a burger.
Yeah. It's true.
We
put sick people in the hospital. We don't ever see anybody die. You never see.
We're some of the biggest cowards out because we won't look at the truths of our lives and the things that we benefit from.
I'm not sure I agree that we look at it because you can have that conversation. People know what you're talking about. It just we won't stay with it. We don't dig into it emotionally.
The same people that are upset about fucking like getting fucked over are wearing shoes made by slaves. They're wearing cats are wearing like fucking.
See, I think we wouldn't think about it like that. We'd go, no, we're creating jobs for these people. It'd be worse without us.
It's easy to come
and
up with a reason.
True. I don't know that's not true. See, I don't know.
Our foreign policy creates these third world countries, and then we employ them at a fucking cut, like at a quarter of the cost.
Yeah, and what would they be? Where would they be?
Where would they be if we weren't fucking them over and then giving them a job? They're so lucky to have us. You're welcome. Dr. Drew, it's good to talk to you, man.
It is great to talk to you, man. I didn't know I was going to feel so bad when I was done speaking with you.
Why?
But
look,
what?
Just own it, man. It's like something like that's it, dude. Well, what are we going to do? No one's going to give shit back.
No one's going to give shit back. I prefer to think that we're moving things forward. But you're right, that you can be looked at differently. Any calls? Love to take calls. If
look, man. Here's a guy that agrees with you, and I'm not going to take any more calls. We're going to get one guy that agrees with you, so you don't feel so bad.
No. I don't mind agree or disagree, but go ahead. Give me a good one.
Cecil in Virginia.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
First off, just say respect to both of you guys. For just even having this conversation and bringing it to this platform, because I know there's millions of people listening. And
hey, let me tell you something. I'll tell you the other thing I learned too. Talking to my friends, which was the one thing my black friends taught me was don't be afraid. Let's have these conversations. Stop walking on eggshells, for Christ's fucking sake. Just let's talk. Which is what kind of you and I are doing.
Yeah,
go exactly. Ahead, and that was my main reason for calling, because Dr. Drew, I appreciate you and how you approach the situation. As you said, you don't want to offend you having those type of friends, and if they ask you, you know what I mean, you're trying to basically cater to them and their feelings. And also, Drew, I respect your view on it. I respect you as being who you are, and you true to you yourself as a person. But the whole thing is, someone else that might freely throw the word around on a different type of platform and conversation, it's left up to another African-American person to decipher where that person is coming from and to decipher that person is knowledge of, you know what I'm saying, like of what they're doing and why they're saying it, and
their intentions,
and so on and so forth.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I wouldn't encourage it, but in these days and times, you know what I'm saying, just like all these comedians are being ridiculed for stuff that they're saying when they're just basically trying to make somebody laugh. We still got to be politically correct. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, I mean, it's the world we living in, so you got to face it. I can't walk around saying the word faggot just because this person is gay. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to respect this person and look within myself and get a better, you know what I'm saying, vocabulary and use a different word. I might say it in the privacy of my own home, but when I'm in, you know, around other people or other strangers, I don't know how they're going to react to it. Because where I'm from, in Bad News, Virginia, if we got a certain, you know, I grew up with a lot of white kids, and, you know, I'm pretty sure they use the word in their own privacy and their own cliques, but when they were around other African Americans and the hip hop culture, they knew to respect that because they didn't know if this other dude was going to feel emotional like you're talking about and haul off and slap him in his face just for using it in front of him.
Right. That's right.
I hear what he's saying.
I do too.
But if the word is that precious to you, don't sell it for dimes on a dollar. Don't like if the word is that precious to you, then check the motherfuckers that are using it. Check the fucking black rappers that are selling it to white people for fucking pennies on the dollar. Like if the word is that precious. But we don't hear them checking those cats. We hear them checking white kids that have been raised on it for the last 15-year-old white kids, and they're mad that they're saying it. Well, dog, you've been selling it to them forever. You can do this. You can pay me money. You can support this culture, but you can't say that part. It's spoiled, and it's not. It's a childish way to look at things. If I don't want you to do some shit, I'm not going to hit you with the do as I say, not as I do thing. I'm not going to sell you something and be like, you can buy all of this, but that one thing you can't have because of your color. But this Mexican kid can. This Puerto Rican kid can. This Asian kid can.
I hear what you're saying. Is our caller still on the line too?
I put him on hold.
Okay.
And can we hit on this on the whole faggot discussion? Look, they're trying to turn this word into nigger, and it's not, because there's slavery. There's fucking 400 years of oppression attached to it.
Listen to this. There's a great comedian. I forget his name, John something. We pulled it from my show yesterday. I didn't air. I didn't have a chance to because we got so heated in the conversation. But he was saying that midget is the N word for small people. And the comedian goes, "No, it isn't." He goes, and his boss was saying, "You can't use the word midget because it's disrespectful. It's the N word for little people." And the guy goes, "No, it isn't, because you're saying the word midget. You can't even say the other word. That's how it's different." That's
my whole point. Look, man, there's been a lot of money getting pushed in to make certain words be taboo.
Why can't they be? Why can't certain...
Look, bro, like, I'm all for giving cats rights, but I also got the right to speak how the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And the other thing is this. Like, yo, dude, you're trying to sell me that gay people have been oppressed like American black people, and they have not, dog. Like, who else besides fucking American, Native Americans had it this fucking bad, dude? Like... The culture is taken from them.
Their identity, their religion, everything.
Everything was robbed of cats.
Yeah.
They're still systematically oppressed by our government to this fucking day. Like, don't tell me it's the same, dog. You can tell me it hurts your feelings all you want, but it's not the fucking same.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And this just started. Like, go look at the old Eddie Murphy shit. He's throwing it all. 20 years ago was fine.
The word.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying Richard Pryor. I cut my teeth on Richard Pryor. I'm telling you, it was art. He used like a brush. I'm not kidding.
Look, man,
I knew. I learned not to. When I would imitate him as a kid, I would use it, but no, it's not really mine. It didn't feel right.
Dr. Drew,
my mouth.
Look, Dr. Drew, I'm sure a lot of things don't feel right in your mouth, but other things do. And then that's what you're.
Can we go back to that conversation again?
Look, bro,
get the HPV vaccine, man. Leave it at that.
All I'm saying is this, man. Like, they are getting us to fight over words when we are giving up our rights. That's the real shit. They're getting us to fight over words. Look, man, they can read my fucking emails.
Right.
They can
who's they?
The system that is.
The language police.
The fucking look, all I'm saying is this is all distraction. Like, yo, you want me to, like, hey, I'm all for motherfuckers being able to vote. I'm all for this. I'm all for that.
I'm not following you.
I'm for real rights. I'm not for fucking, you can't say this word. You can't say that word.
Yeah.
That is a hollow victory. Me not being able to say a word or have somebody not hearing a fucking word come out of a white guy's head is not going to make his school district better. It's not going to bring jobs to his fucking community. It's not going to do a goddamn thing. And all it is a distraction. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
There's bigger fish to fry.
I don't think anybody can argue with you that's not true. However,
break it down, Doc.
No, it's just there's a big however on the heels of it. It's like you can cherish rituals, you can cherish words, you can, have things have sanctified meaning that you handle carefully. It's okay to do that. That's what history is full of. All kinds of notions like that. Humans do that naturally. And they do it when there's heavy. You know when they really do it? Listen to me. I just had another little insight here.
Break it down.
Yeah. People sanctify things. I think the word sanctity and the word magic are related, okay? I think you sanctify things, you make it sort of a magical thing. And the time in which people make something sanctified is when it has a long, fucked up history that you don't want to forget. You understand?
Yeah.
And then they'll go, this is sacred. this is something we're going to have a ritual built around it. Because ritual is just a way of externalizing a memory in my mind. And so, I don't know, to not let it be sanctified by somebody who would like to may be a mistake. That's all I'm saying. When you're not attached to that history, you have no business sanctifying it, though.
If it's that precious to you, don't fucking sell it for fucking dimes on a dollar.
But that's not my business.
But it is your business because it's not like, it's not consistent. If you're consistent, I'll respect it. But you're not being consistent. There's no consistency here. You listen to my station, and you listen to my station, and you listen to the people saying it, and you listen to what's going on. Like, if it's that precious of a word. If it's like Lord Voldemort, nobody says Lord Voldemort. You like that Harry Potter reference, bro?
Yeah, I'll let it pass.
Come on, man. It's just fucking Harry Potter, bro.
It's a weird thing that you make it cheap, but you hold it dear. And when somebody else picks it up for, as you said, for pennies, then it's offensive. You didn't account on somebody else picking it up like that. And so I totally understand why somebody would be like, whoa. Who do you think you are?
Dude.
But then isn't that just a reenactment of what white people have done all over the place?
Look,
it's
bro,
just a reenactment, man. You get that?
What do you mean?
It becomes a reenactment of what white people have done throughout history, which is, hey, we're going to take your good work and we're going to co-opt it.
That's what people do. That's history, man.
Yeah, I understand, but
that's what history. Everything builds on the next thing.
I don't disagree with you, but
look,
there's a whole huge history in our
white
country.
People have had a nice 500 years. All right. But before that, look, the Mongols. Everybody's got their own time, dog.
Yes,
this is it. Don't fucking beat up white people over the last 500. Look, they had a nice run. Okay, they're having a nice run. It's about to be over in about 30 years, dude. Honestly, I guess. Look, don't fucking put the human condition on just Caucasians. Just because they had a fucking they've been fucking whooping ass for the last 500 years. That's all I'm saying. It's not fair because if you go back before that, there was, why the fucking Spanish got so good at came over here and got so good at whooping ass? Because the Moors came and were beating the shit out of them for a few fucking 100 years, and they got good at fighting, and then they came over here and took everybody else's shit.
That's true.
They got their shit kicked out of them by Africans, and then they came over here and beat the shit out of the fucking Indians. And you know why? Hakuna Matata is the circle of life, Doc. That's the way it goes, man.
So we're just monkeys that talk.
Dog, I'm just a fucking monkey. I'm just a fucking that's it.
A monkey that talks. That's Joe Rogan's thing. Oh, I'm coming up so uplifted, my friend.
Once you come to terms with this shit, life is beautiful, man. Life is fucking beautiful. We live in a beautiful trees are awesome.
I think we as social beings can do more. We can do better.
We could, but we don't want to because we're lazy and we're selfish.
We're primitive. We're angry and whatever. But I like expecting a little more out of us. I like it.
Here's the deal, man. There's a fucking there's a health food place called Lassen's.
Yeah, right down.
Right down. There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
And they actively give money to fight gay people's rights.
What?
But yeah, let me finish.
They do?
So, yeah, they do. They actively
fight them gay
yeah,
marriage.
they fight gay marriage. They
Okay.
dump money into that.
Yeah.
And most people that go to these health food places tend to be pretty liberal.
Yeah.
And they're for gay rights.
But they give the money to these guys.
And they boycotted them for 2 days, and then they decided that they wanted chia seeds and gluten-free things and grass-fed meat. And guess what? They started giving them their money. And that's how people are. The idea of things, they like the idea of things, but when the rubber hits the road, they're not going to fucking break ass to fucking help out the next man.
Well, what you're saying is that we all look out for ourselves, but we're really narcissistic. And you say when rubber hits the road, it's about us. And yeah, you can't deny that.
Here, man, we'll talk to a bunch of people that will agree with you.
You don't have to. I like people to disagree with me too.
Actually, let's see. Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead,
gotcha.
man. Get off the Bluetooth or some shit.
I'm sorry, man. I'm a trucker, bro.
I hear you.
In my truck. Hold on a second. My bad.
All right, you good?
Thanks for taking my call. First and foremost, I want to say long-time listener. And Dr. Drew, don't follow Jude up. Don't let him. Jude has built his career by being a rude Jude person, but he's a very educated person, and he did bring up some really good points. First and foremost, if there is a word that you feel that distinguishes a certain group of people, or it is just as racist for the opposite race not to be able to use it because it objectifies a person. Me personally, I believe that if a word has way too many meanings, it could be the ER or the if it's too many meanings, you do that all. But Dr. Drew, I do agree with you. I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use it. I am an African-American man, but I am totally against using it. I don't let anybody call me that. I don't call anybody that because of the things that are associated with it, whether it's the A or the But
a lot of my friends were with you. They educated me that it was just too. Why would you do that? A word that's so packed. Why take it casually? Was their sort of attitude. And I am officially.
You weren't saying it anyway, Dr. Drew.
No.
What were you like? This is some great.
No, you know what I did?
Some great pizza, my nigga. Like, come on, dog.
You know what I did? I did a crank yankers where I used the word. It was a thing where I was supposed to be a hip hop crank yanker puppet. It was very strange, but my friends all reacted to it. And I went, oh, okay. I can't even goof around with this. It's not good.
Look,
good.
man, and I like where my man's coming from. He doesn't use the word. Yeah. He doesn't like when people use the word on him.
He was how most people were, particularly the women I talked to. They were very much.
But I find
on that zone.
Yo, what's your name on the line, sir? Rashawn. Yeah, but like at least he's consistent here.
Yeah.
Do you not support but look, you listen to Shade 45. The word's thrown around here all the fucking time, dude.
Absolutely. 10 years strong, bro.
So you already know, he might feel that way, but he's even actively supporting people that don't agree.
But why can't it be
that don't go?
Why can't it be that same word that's a vehicle for so much used as an artistic brush? Why can't we agree that artists should use it? Why?
I mean, because nobody is taking a big enough platform, standing on that platform and saying, hey, look at what the word is associated with. This is what some people use it as. This is what other people use it as. Let's just stop it altogether. I think, who was it? Jesse Jackson, he tried it a little while ago. But what any great leader needs is some pretty good teachers right behind that awesome leader. So what has to happen is somebody has to take a stand and say, for whatever reason you're using it for, it may be offensive to somebody that's your same race. Don't use it. If I'm in a conversation with other African Americans and they're using that word, just throwing it around, I'll kind of just, back out of that conversation because I don't want to be associated with somebody that's using that type of language.
I've seen people use it on their kids, right?
Oh, yeah, well, they just need a little bit more common sense, Doc. But to each his own. Just me personally, I'm going to be a person that if I hear a young person saying it, if I hear somebody in another race saying it, I'll just respectfully ask them, hey, if you don't mind, don't use that kind of language in front of me. That goes for family members, friends.
I like that.
Perhaps you could use that as a jump off to have a discussion, an hour-long discussion that Dr. Drew and I are having. That you could say, look, I'm being a smartass, but instead of just telling the motherfucker to stop, maybe you could tell them the history behind it and why it offends you, not just that
I know the entire history. So
let's jump off to Jay in Salt Lake City. Jay, what up?
Hey, what up, man?
What's happening?
So my whole thing is, I think anybody should be able to say the word nigga. I think you could be black, white, green, orange, whatever the fuck you are. You should be able to say the word. The only thing is, like, we bring up it's used in a hip hop environment and it's rough and tough. So I think if anybody says it, whether you're black or not, you got to be ready to throw your hand. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, just by using it.
He's got a point. I know.
If you're gonna be using it in like a gangster type way or playing around or something like that, you got to be able to hold it. I got a white boy. He says it all the time, and it's like when he first said it, it was awkward as fuck. So I'm like, dude, man, like, if you're going to say it, grab your fucking nuts and say the shit. Like, really, you know what I mean? Come from your heart with it. Like, you got swag. Don't just be like, nigga, you know what I mean? Like, grab your nuts and say, what up, nigga? You know what I mean? You got to feel that shit. So, for me,
now what do we do with that, though?
Man, I just wanted people to ask you about fucking. You see what you did, man?
I know.
You see what you did,
happened
Dr.
to be
Drew?
on my television show yesterday. I'm actually glad. I didn't expect this. I just heard the music coming in. It reminded me. Had a big conversation last night about this, and I'm glad we're talking about this.
BJ in Oklahoma. Go ahead, BJ.
Hey,
I don't know what we do with that last guy. I don't know what to do with that.
What's that?
Hey,
Go ahead, BJ.
Sorry,
I'm a
BJ.
long-time listener. I appreciate everything y'all talking about right now. But I'd like to make a point. Hey, if you walk in a room full of women and they all friends and they calling each other bitches and hoes and shit like that, right?
Yeah. I brought that up.
In the middle. You don't jump in the middle of that shit and say bitch because your ass to get tore up. It's kind of the same thing. I ain't trying to get into the right or wrong or the whole thing, but it's just common sense. You don't. You expect those. That shit might offend somebody. Leave it alone. It just depends on the you with, really.
BJ, I hear what you're saying, but what you guys are failing to recognize is that it's over. Young people are using it. It's done. It doesn't mean what you thought it meant. You're having a discussion with a bunch of 40-year-old people. Most of the people that have called in have been over 30. Like, kids can't afford Sirius. They can't afford Sirius. Yo, I go out on the street, I hear these kids, they talk. That's how they speak now, dog.
And is there any kind of weirdness like that last caller?
No, ain't none of it. Like, it fucked me up the first time I heard it. You know what I mean? It fucked me up the first time I heard it.
Is it regional? Is there certain parts of the country where it's more?
No, dude, it's everywhere. You hear little Mexican kids out here in Los Angeles say it. You'll hear fucking kids in Chinatown saying that shit. The Arab kids in Detroit say that shit. It's over. Go ask a 15-year-old, man. Like, they all say it. And it sounds natural as hell coming from them because they don't have all the hang-ups that we have. I'm from the fucking 70s, man. Like, I was the only white motherfucker listening to rap, dog. Like, there was like racial divides even in the music that you chose. Like, it's not that anymore. It's become part of pop culture. Let's go to Rich in Atlanta.
Yo.
Go ahead, Rich.
What up, Jude? What up, homie?
What up, though?
Hey, Dr. Drew, man, I follow you, bro. I be watching you on MTV every now and then when they do reruns, bro.
Thanks, buddy. What's happening?
In real life, man, y'all both have some real poignant points of view, you know. The point is, you got to equate the word nigga like dude these days. And the only reason you got to do that is because, like Jude was saying, it's how it's being used. But I disagree with Jude's point of why it's being used the way it's being used. Because, first of all, to say that hip-hop culture is just selling the word nigga is just to shorten what hip-hop is really about. So we selling a lot more than the word nigga. And to piggyback that, we're selling our culture. You know what I'm saying? We're selling our expression of ourselves. We're selling things that we couldn't say to the people that we wanted to say it to. We'll say it over a beat, whether it's to a black person, white person, somebody else. Black people, black men especially, ain't allowed to be aggressive, ever. We automatically get shot, locked up, whatever. So to piggyback that, we ain't selling it necessarily to you. Not you as in Real Jude or Dr. Drew, but to white people alone. We weren't necessarily selling it to begin with. It's just like art, like any other art. It's an expression, and now you want to buy it, cool, but respect the art if you're going to buy it. At the same time,
totally on point.
If you're gonna say it, understand.
Maybe
why
that
you
was
say it.
maybe
Like,
that was
you
relevant in 1988.
No, don't say that.
But it's no longer
No, we
relevant,
gotta make it relevant.
and
We
these
gotta
rappers
make
are
these shit up,
actively.
dude.
Bro, are you saying that they're not actively marketing to fucking white people right now? Because they are,
Yeah,
dog.
but that's but
They
in
make
real life,
ringtones
that's
to sell
them
to white
niggas.
girls.
That's the niggas that's just trying to come up off the art. They just trying to come up off the art. They ain't real artists. And it's gonna be like saturation in anything you do. It's good cops, it's bad cops, it's good doctors, it's bad doctors, it's good rap artists, it's good radio hosts, it's good bad. I can't knock
Thank you.
all
He's talking
radio
about me.
just because you got Don Imus calling black women hoes. I can't say, oh, all radio sucks. Nah, I gotta say, you know what? That's that nigga's problem. I'm gonna do me. But in real life, obviously, I use the word regularly. I still slap the shit out of a white person who using it in front of me who don't have no business using it.
Double
especially
standard.
if he's in a derogatory manner.
Double standard. Check the motherfucker. Yo, if you don't like it, check the source.
No, I disagree. I think the last couple callers have been right.
I feel like
on.
you're very patronizing to people. I feel like that view is a very patronizing point of view. You're not holding people at a similar standard that you would operate under. And I feel like that's racist.
No, I know that. I know that you've said that before in a couple different ways.
It's liberal media has the racism of low expectations of other people,
I
and
get
the
it.
worst is that cats will buy into it because it's easier.
But so you'd rather have the world. Let's sort of paint the world. So your listeners, who are mostly people that can afford Sirius, got a lot of energy around this, right? And you've heard both people saying it should be used freely. You've heard people saying, do not use this word. I never use it. It's too laden with emotion. It's got a history that's transmitted. And you heard this guy talked about that sanctity that I was saying, that it should be used as a some sort of color or brush for artistic expression. And he said some very cool stuff.
But here's the problem: art imitates life as life
No, I get
imitates
it.
art.
So
So
which
one
world-
has to
which-
be aware. That's it.
But which is the world we're in, where it is a word that's just that everyone uses, just like dude, or is it something that is going to continue to have that history? And
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. And
right.
here, look, you got two white guys that don't use the fucking word arguing about whether you can use the goddamn word. Looks like we're both not using the fucking word.
However, I think the reason your listeners are responding to it is that we're willing to walk into this territory and have this conversation. We're not afraid of it.
I just wanted to talk about.
We can talk
fucking
about
pussies.
fucking too. We can do that too if you
We're
want.
done. We can't. We're out of time.
No.
You spent the whole time being political.
Well, no, it just occurred to me that that's what I'd been talking about on my television show, so it was interesting to me. And it's something we got to kind of sort this shit out, everybody. Don't you think?
No, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather.
You're back not caring about people and being an animal that talks.
I'm fine with that. I'm not trying to save anybody. I'm trying to save myself, dog. That's it.
I get you.
That's it. And
That's patronizing of me.
Most people are that way. Most people are self-centered.
Let me finish with this.
Go ahead. I'll shut the fuck up. You get the last word.
Well, no,
it's good to have you here, Dr.
It's
Drew.
a pleasure to be here, and this has been interesting and fun. But here's the thing: you can look after yourself. You can be. We are animals that talk. I got all that. But here's where we find meaning in life, and here's where we find something I would call happiness. And by happiness, I don't mean glee and euphoria and contentment even. I mean a good life. You find it in working with and being of service to other people. That's where we find it. You look at every myth, you look at every great piece of literature, that tends to be the theme, whether it's the myth of Gilgamesh or whether it's Candide or whatever it is, you find.
Why using big shit on me right now?
Because you seem to want to go to that stuff.
All right, go ahead.
So the point is, and I've seen this in recoveries, I've seen this in my work, that being with and for other people makes a gigantic difference in people's lives. Gigantic. And when people have happiness, they think they have happiness, they look around, they go, now what the fuck am I going to do? And they always, if they're going to have a good life, it's because they did stuff with and for other people.
I feel like I'm doing stuff for other people.
I think you are too, even though you're claiming you're not.
I think I am more so than most of these people are.
I think you're having the courage to say shit that will affect other people, and but I think you think you're not. You keep saying you're not, but I think you are. You raised a kid, man.
No, I didn't. I was a deadbeat father. But
were you?
Yeah, I didn't raise my
I thought
child.
you said you raised her.
No. Her grandparents raised her.
You pay?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right.
There you go.
You lived
Raised
up to
with my money.
You lived up to your responsibility.
Shout out to the friend of the court. Bong, diddy bong bong. Dr. Drew, it's good to have you in here.
It's great getting to know you a little better, too. It is. I feel like we've done some stuff with Adam in the room, and I don't get as much as this time.
Let everybody know where they can hear you and where they can watch you.
I dig you have people that call your show, too.
Oh, we got some real motherfuckers that call up.
Yeah, you got people that are thinking and listening and involved. It's good. You can check me out. I'm at KBC in Los Angeles and noontime. I'm at Loveline still. Check your listing for that. It's all. I have a podcast series with Corolla on AdamCarolla.com, DrDrew.com. Will you come back and talk about sex with us, please? Yeah.
All right. But mostly what else?
I want people to watch that HLN program. I really need you guys there. So check it out. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9. We're live. 9 Eastern. It's an interesting program. And that show is what spawned this conversation. I was having this conversation in my studio yesterday.
There you go. Sam, can we take these calls off air, or are we out of time?
We can take them quick.
All right, you want to take a couple quick calls off the air, and we'll put it on our on-demand?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, y'all. Dr. Drew, it's always good to have you on here. Thanks for fucking not letting me talk about vaginas and pushing me into this corner to defend that word. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
Good for that.
You ain't got no swag, and you so fine. It's so sad. Still got a coach. Need a coach bag.
All right, Shade 45, this is the on-demand section. Let's go to the phone lines. Hear your last calls. We got Ross in Florida. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Jude?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, I just want to say I'm a big fan of you, man. I listened to you when I used to have
Man, go ahead. I appreciate it, but let's get it going.
I'm going to be fast. Let's get it going.
Okay. All right.
All right, here we go. All right, look. The word nigga and nigger, it's really just a bunch of bullshit. As long as we continue, and I'm in college right now at UCF, I'm studying political science, and I'm only 22 years old, and I'm Italian. And I hear Italians in my own family that listen to rap music that are older than me that say that word like I swear to God, they're Sicilian. Well, anyways, what I'm trying to say, man, is as long as we as a nation of Americans continue to use hyphenated words in front of a culture or an ethnic group of people such as African American, Native American, Latino, Mexicano Americans, and all so forth, and Anglo-Saxon and Italian American, all that you're doing is allowing the door. You're allowing the door to not stay closed. You're allowing the door to remain open, which is going to continue to reopen the road. What's going to happen is you're going to continue to have these false agreements. Okay. Instead of accepting people as Americans, which we all are, all are Americans.
Okay, so that's what he's saying.
Okay, be American. I hear what you're saying, but like cats are different. Let's go to Jason in Oklahoma. Go ahead.
Hey, man, just real quick. I say it's all about the context, man. I served in the military along many different races, ethnic groups, man, and we could freely call each other names, just as homeboys. He could call me, hey, what's up, nigga? And it was all good because it's a context of the way you put it. That's the way I feel, and that's the way it's been for me with putting my friends. It's the context.
Here's the other thing that we're kind of tiptoeing around. It's implying that I come from racist background as a white person. When you grew up. It's implying that well, first my people were in fucking Italy while the slavery shit was happening. All right, so like. It's you're putting a lot of implications on my fucking white skin. And to me that's a bit fucking racist.
No, I didn't argue with you about that, right? You've made that declaration 3 or 4 times now about it being racist to allow this to be.
Well, I was taking it one step further that it's not just saying a person can say something based on their color. It's an implication that because of my color, I come from these roots,
right? And
I don't.
Right. But you have roots. You weren't, and you came here, and your roots led you here. And you've accepted an idea, a country that's based on an idea that we all formed, and we signed up for, we signed on to, right? I
didn't sign up for this. I was born. I'm the second generation immigrant.
We're not leaving. Me too. Me too. From Belarus and fucking Ukraine, right? And but we have joined a society from which, in order to build what we have. Amongst us are people whose roots were ripped out, for whom they were not given that opportunity. And there's a history we all have to come to terms with.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree.
To ignore it is a mistake.
I would argue.
Hey,
I would
by the
argue
way,
that we're not the.
Hey, listen.
It's
In
being
my
ignored
room,
on both sides.
For sure. In the room with me yesterday, I was talking about it on my TV show. I had Black Americans and I had African Americans who were Nigerian and Guinean and were here, but either came as young children or are a first generation here, and they had to sign up for the history too, and they were looked at as, hey man, you have a history. Your grandparents are in Nigeria.
They're totally different than I'd say that African Americans are different than Black Americans.
Well, see how complicated it gets fast?
Look, bro, it's a difference.
We have a lot of Africans living amongst us.
It's the difference between Jewish people and white people. Like, yo, dude, like you got a different culture you're coming from. You got different, like, just because we
heritage and roots.
Yeah, just because we look the same doesn't mean we got the same fucking heritage, the same roots. I talk with my hands because I'm Italian.
But I don't get to co-opt Asian culture or Asian heritage. I don't get to do that.
Why? You don't use chopsticks when you go to sushi?
I do, but I don't.
All right then, that's co-op. You're co-opting their fucking culture as they sell it to you.
All right.
Look, maybe that point was wrong, but like, look, man, like this, it's become an American culture. Black culture is American
this guy was
culture.
saying. That's what this caller was saying, right? That we need to be just Americans first, and then.
No, I'm not even saying that. To a point, like, yo, it's pop culture now, dude. Like, it's
you're
pop,
back to that. Yeah,
it's broken. It's broken that color line.
You're declaring a piece of history that I don't know. You're saying, hey, old man, this is what's coming. You don't be so old-fashioned by thinking about it the way you are, because these kids have sorted this shit out already.
Bro, it's not.
And I'm delighted to hear that. By the way, you young people sort everything out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like, it's not even. It's not even history. It's. This isn't an underground thing anymore. Rap music isn't an underground thing anymore. It stopped being that fucking 20 years ago. Yeah. And now we get to watch. Well, now we get, the chickens have come home to roost, and now you get to see the results of that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little uncomfortable for a lot of people, but hey, these are the seeds that you've sown. Now they're growing. Pick the fruit.
Look what you got. You got Justin Bieber.
You got Justin fucking Bieber. All right. Thanks, Dr. Drew.
All right, you got it.
This is the All Out Show on Shade 45.